Hey everyone, I'm Steph,
And I'm Megan.
and welcome to another episode of Late Night Reads.
This week we are talking contemporary romance and covering Pucking Strong by Emily Rath. Love a good hockey.
Why did we select Fucking Strong? As Megan said, we love hockey romance. Megan goes feral for hockey players. Just ask her husband.
Yep,
And
wearing a King's jersey right now. Love it.
and we have loved this entire series. So this is the fourth book. We've covered all of them on the show. If Emily Rath writes another book in the series, we're definitely going to read it and cover it because it has been so much fun just diving into this world and these characters.
Oh, so good. And here are also a few things you should know about the author, Emily Rath. So, first of all, she is a New York Times, USA Today, and #1 Amazon bestselling author of romance and fantasy. She holds a BA in political science and philosophy, 2 MAs in political science, and PhDs in peace studies and political science. Very accomplished woman. And Emily started her career as an indie author, self-publishing books, and now she has over 600 million pages read on Amazon. And her works have been translated into 12 languages and counting. She is currently a full-time author and lives in the Pacific Northwest with her husband, kiddo, and 3 very needy and unruly cats. Her words, not ours, but I believe it.
So before we discuss this book, a couple of key reminders. As always, this episode will contain spoilers. We assume if you're listening that you've read this book and you've read the other 3 books in the series. You have been warned. Also, as this book does contain a number of topics that may be sensitive for some readers, we will talk about these on the show: adoption anxiety, bullying, car accident, death, dementia, hospitalization, medical trauma, PTSD, racism.
But now let's talk tropes. So first up, we have hockey romance. And let's just say if you guys are in your heated rivalry era, you are going to want to read this series. So this entire series centers around the Jacksonville Rays, an NHL team in Florida where Henrik is a player and Teddy is the physical therapist. Ooh, what can happen here? So first up, we have a fake relationship / marriage of convenience. Henrik and Teddy marry in Sweden to allow Henrik the opportunity to adopt his niece after his sister's untimely death. They have to live as a married couple for a set period of time before the courts will allow the adoption to be finalized. Then we have friends to lovers. Henrik and Teddy start off as friends. Well, technically, Teddy's been in love with Henrik since they first ran into each other, like literally 6 years ago. But Henrik has zero interest in honestly any type of romantic relationship. And then we have a slow burn. So unlike other books in the series, this one is literally the slowest of slow burns because Henrik finds out he is demisexual, which basically means it requires him to force a strong emotional connection with someone before he's able to have any sexual attraction to them. Very interesting to see how that entire relationship forms. And then lastly, we have found family. Henrik is pretty much a loner and lives to work until Teddy and Carolina come into his life and become a true family to him.
It's so sweet. I loved it.
Caro, his little Caro. It's so
I
cute.
know. You will do all the accents. I will not, as usual.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, this book has a lot of drama in it. It starts off with, as Megan mentioned, Teddy meets Henrik 6 years ago, falls in, I would call, insta love with him. They run into each other. Teddy spills coffee all over himself, and he is like, "This is the most gorgeous man that I've ever met."
Yes.
And then things get like slightly more complicated because Teddy's at first day of his internship and realizes that Henrik happens to be one of the players on the Rays. Not great. Not great. So,
Oops.
little oopsies. So fast forward to present day, Teddy's having, once again, his first day as an assistant physical therapist for the Rays because Rachel's going on maternity leave for like, I think the 3rd time now.
So many kids.
So many kids. And numerous players are excited to have him back, specifically Novi, who apparently has like a hard-on for Teddy's magical fingers, which was very entertaining throughout the entire book. I love his character in Pucking Sweet, right? Because he's like this bad boy, like player who ends up being like the sweetest. So seeing him talk about Teddy's magical hands was
Oh my gosh.
entertaining as fuck. So
And Teddy has to like legit say no sex sounds
right.
are allowed during these massages. And Nobody's like, I can't help it. It's so good.
I mean,
I mean,
and
Can I get one?
Anyways, right? Tell
Yeah.
me more about these magical hands.
Mhm.
So once again, it's Teddy's first day. He does not have a good track record with first days, you guys. And
Mm-mm.
Henrik receives a voicemail learning that his sister died in a car accident last night and his niece is in critical condition in Sweden. And all I thought of was, did we need to leave all of that on the voicemail? This poor man, like
Right?
that's a lot to have thrown at you on a voicemail.
Oh.
And he starts like wailing, and he's normally like a really quiet guy, kind of similar to Amari. And then Teddy ends up holding him while Henrik breaks down. I'm like, this is, interesting. And so pretty quickly, a plan is made for Henrik to fly to Sweden, and Rachel offers up her dad's plane in case it's, Carolina needs help getting back to the States, like from a medical standpoint, it'd be easier. And then they're like, someone should go with him.
Hmm.
Well, timing's not great. Training camp starts in a few days, in like 10 days. And Tay's like, I will be tribute. I will go.
Okay. Okay.
I'll go. He's like, assuming Rachel can stay like for another week while I'm gone. She's like, of course. And I'm just like, day
Mm-hmm.
one, we are getting on a plane with a hot man to Sweden. And I am like, yes, please.
Yes.
I like this. It also helps that like, he's a doctor. He's experienced at injury rehab. He's worked with kids before. I'm like, this feels kismet. Like, what more could you want?
It's perfect. If only he could
Is
speak Swedish.
right?
That's his only flaw here, So it becomes very clear that Teddy tends to get nervous and panics easily. And he is just rambling with the immigration officer. Great example. He's literally just like, here are things not to say to an immigration officer. He's like, I have no idea when I'm coming back. I don't plan to get any drugs while in Sweden. Oh, and I have a crush on the man that I'm traveling with. But thankfully, this immigration officer literally ignores everything Teddy's saying. He's like, don't bring back any drugs. And he's like, okay, I promise I won't. And he's just like, oh boy. And we're like, oh boy, Teddy.
Teddy, things that would get you arrested today.
Yes, yes. It's like, don't even mention drugs. You would get
No.
in so much trouble. Like, just don't go there. It's like word vomit. He just has to keep going. And then once he's on the plane, Henrik thanks Teddy for coming and acknowledges that he's like, I know you're not comfortable around me. And like, Henrik just assumes it's because he's quiet and slightly awkward. Well, the real reason is that Teddy is just like obsessed and in love with him. And he's just like, I have to be quiet or I'm going to explode around you.
Yeah.
So can't wait for that to happen. And then during their flight, Carolina apparently had surgery to repair her broken leg, and she also has a broken arm. So she is going to be in a cast for 8 weeks and won't be able to bear any weight on it at all. And while that might not seem like, a long time for an adult, it's practically an eternity to like a 5-year-old. And I have a 5-year-old, and that would be insane. Also, I can't imagine like seeing my 5-year-old like beat up like that. Like Carolina has like bruises all over her from the accident, which the second that Henrik sees her, it's like really hard for him. Like he pretty much wants to like leave the room and cry, but like Teddy convinces him like, you need to stay. You need to be here. She has no one else. You need to be here for her. So suck it up.
Yeah. So when they're reunited, there are tears from both of them. Lots of talking in Swedish that Teddy cannot understand, which is quite hilarious. And then Carolina, or Caro as they call her, she's very weary of Teddy because she doesn't like strangers. But that changes because Teddy gives her a teddy bear and her favorite color, purple, that she ends up naming after him. And what I loved about this was he just like picked up he bought 3 teddy bears in 3 different colors and was like, what's your favorite color? And then he pulls the purple one out like it's magic, which I'm just like, oh, he definitely has worked with kids before. And then Henrik and Teddy end up staying at Henrik's apartment in Sweden, which Teddy described really beautifully as a thrift shop had sex with the library and made a baby. And I was like, I can picture this.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, it made me laugh because I say oftentimes, like, especially when it comes to like design or creative, I'm like, what if you took this and it had a baby?
Yes.
And designers are usually like, what if it didn't? Like,
what if we didn't do that?
It always turns out beautifully though. But it made me think of that. And then Henrik also makes breakfast for Teddy and somehow knows what kind of coffee he likes. And I was like, hold on a second. It's been a long time since the two of you were together and he was just an intern. How do you know what kind of coffee he likes?
Well, I mean, Teddy did spill his entire coffee on him the first time they ever met. So he's probably
That's true.
this is a lot of sugar. This guy likes a lot of sugar and cream in his coffee.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just like this super sweet like moment, but that's
Hmm.
ruined when Henrik finds out that his lawyer believes his case for guardianship isn't strong because, I mean, one, he's going to be taking her out of the country for medical care, and apparently, the American medical system is the laughing stock of the developed world.
True.
I mean,
I mean,
I mean, it is what it is, and it
it is what
also
it
doesn't
is.
help that he's an NHL player. Although he has lots of money, which should be a pro, he travels all the time,
It's very true. They are
which
out of
is
town often.
a lot, right? And that
Hmm.
causes Henrik to spiral, questioning if he's then the best person to take care of Caro. And then Teddy is like, and this is what I loved about his character. He was like, no, like you are the best. Like you need to fight for her. And I was just like, this is, oh, I loved everything about him from like that moment on.
It was so great. And then it doesn't help when Henrik and Teddy meet with the Swedish lawyer Elin, and she reiterates how she does think that Henrik has a very poor chance of winning the custody case. And she's like, maybe perhaps we should do a foster to adoption situation for Carolina. And Teddy is about to lose his shit on this woman. Like, literally, he's like, all right, like, let's go through these various potential families that could foster her. And then he points out, like, it seems like the Swedish government wants a two-parent household and also a two-parent household that is a man and a woman. He's like, did they not like gay people here? Like, Teddy goes off. And Ellen does confirm that Henrik being unmarried doesn't really help his case. So what does Teddy do? He offers to be Henrik's legal partner and live with him full time. Oh, and help take care of Caro. And it's like, wait, did you just propose? Did you just propose yourself to this hot, sexy Swede? Yes, you
In the
did.
hospital cafeteria.
In the hospital cafeteria with the lawyer. Like, oh, okay. And Ellen's like, okay. Also, BT dubs, Ellen's very much like, she doesn't care that they're gay because she's gay. So she's like, but Teddy doesn't know this at the moment. But Ellen warns them about like what will happen if the government suspects that they're committing fraud, which they technically are at this point. And she's like, the intensive scrutiny that you guys are going to have to go through, like to basically just temporary foster and then eventually adopt Caro is going to be intense. And let's just say that Henrik is shocked to watch all of this happening in front of him. And he's just like, okay, let's do it. And then he just ultimately asks Teddy to marry him, which, okay, time for a quick wedding. And Teddy now is freaking out because he's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. He is a romantic at heart. And he's
Mhm.
always imagined his wedding day to be just super special and like lavish and like just amazing. Like all of his family's there. Does he get that? No.
No.
Ellen also makes a very private comment to Teddy about how Henrik can never love him the way Teddy wants him to. I'm like, that is so
On his
ouch.
wedding day. Like,
On his wedding day. Like, really? Like, ugh. Which makes it obviously clear that, like, everyone can see how Teddy feels about Henrik, except Henrik.
well, all I thought was, why are lawyers negative? I know their job is to assume worst case, but like,
Yeah.
seriously,
Yeah. She's like, oh, you don't stand a chance. You don't stand a
I'm
chance.
like, ugh.
It's like, well, let's
And
get
then
married. I don't
mm,
know.
I
Might
don't know
not
how
work
that'll
still.
work. He's not gonna love you.
He won't love you. Like,
I mean,
damn.
you might be right, but like, also,
Woo. Like, get on board and help us out. What are we paying you for?
exactly. I feel like if you're gonna tell someone that you don't think their marriage is gonna work out, which I have told someone that before they got married, you do it like a while before. You don't do it on the wedding day. Like we do it like shortly after they get engaged, and we say,
But there was no time. There was no time here.
"That's true. That's true. You're not wrong. It did happen
It's
very quick." But I was
very
just like,
quickly. But still.
one minute
Mm.
you're lamenting that they're gonna commit fraud, and now you're like, he'll never love you. Which one is it, Elaine?
Which one? Which one? Fraud or no love? Fraud or no love? It's both.
Both. A little bit of both.
Mm.
So during the ceremony, Teddy continues to panic spiral. He needs a minute, which then results in like more Teddy word vomit. And with Teddy's word vomiting, I'm here for it because it's usually entertaining as hell. He tells Henrik that he's gay, which Henrik's like, yeah, I knew
Yeah.
that. I also caught you kissing a rookie at like Shelby's birthday party years ago. He's like, oh, in the garage? He's like, no, in the bathroom. And Teddy's like, who was I kissing?
I love that.
Teddy clearly does not remember most of that party. That party was very
Who
interesting.
was I kissing in that bathroom? Oh God.
I'm curious now.
Mm.
And then he's like, Henrik, you know that people will think you're gay after we get married. And Henrik's like, yeah,
Yeah. So
like,
does not
okay.
care.
And Henrik's like, I'm not going to trap you, Teddy. Although we'll be married on paper, you can be free to live your life until I set you free. And I'm like, hold on. Just what you want to hear on your wedding day to the man that you were in love with for 6 years. Feel free to fuck around with other men until I can cut you loose.
Ah,
I
great.
mean,
So
great.
romantic.
So romantic. Love this for me. Then Teddy drops the bomb that he's had a big crush on Henrik from his internship. And then Henrik's like, oh God, you've gotten something like old, borrowed, new, and blue. And Henrik's like, why are you marrying me? And Teddy's like, well, the only thing that matters is Caro. And I'm like, which is really sweet, but also I'm like, Teddy,
Teddy, come on.
like stand up for yourself. And then they get married, but then there's no kissing to Teddy's disappointment and mine.
Right?
Like, right?
It's like, come on, just do a little kiss. Just a
Little kiss. Well,
little, not even a peck on the cheek. Come on.
it reminded me of like honeymoon phase where Luke and Addison get married and like the clerk who marries them is like, and now you will kiss. And they're like, oh, and then they do it. I'm like, why didn't this person help them out? Help a boy out.
Or not even do like a handshake, like you're married.
Or a hug.
Huzzah.
No, there's nothing. There's like, sign this paper in Swedish.
Fist
I
bump?
might cut your organs out later. Like, we don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Just maybe. How is a Swedish fish made? Let's find out.
I don't know. So next up, they head to Henrik's parents' house because what do you do after you get married? Clearly, you honeymoon with your parents.
Mm-hmm.
And then Teddy starts to freak out some more because he has now realized that he has done something dramatic by getting married out of the blue, which apparently is very much his style. And I love that for him. But that is the opposite of Henrik's style. So I'm like, they're already going to be a good balance. He also worries that Henrik knows nothing about him, which is false because Henrik has paid attention to Teddy like over the years. And this leads to like the two of them creating crazy rules, which I love it when rules are created in a romance book because I'm like, countdown until one or both of you break every single one of them. So Henrik can never refer to Teddy as his husband, only his partner. Teddy will move in with Henrik and get his own room. But Henrik demands that Teddy gets the master bedroom. And Teddy's like, no. And I'm like, why would we not take the master bedroom? Of course we should say yes to this.
Yes. Take the big bed in the ensuite. Yes.
Exactly. Yes. Henrik wants Teddy to continue to live his life, but he can't bring any men back to the apartment to fuck. But anywhere else is fine, apparently. Just like be discreet about it. Love that. Teddy wants to pay rent, which I'm like, why, Teddy? No.
Save your money. Save your money.
That's why I was like, I mean, Henrik can't kiss Teddy. And Henrik's like, well, that won't happen. And I'm like, Henrik,
that's rude. Come on.
I mean, can you at least say, okay? Or like,
yeah.
You don't have to be like, well, that would never, ever happen.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just stab me in the heart further. And then my favorite, Henrik has to tell Poppy about them getting married. And I'm like, oh.
Oh, and that's when Henrik's like, oh.
Like,
okay.
I love Poppy, but I never want to be the person that tells Poppy bad news. I don't know if it's bad news, but that brings a PR scandal to her.
Yeah. It's
no,
like,
I don't want to do that.
Hey, here's some work for you to do while you're pregnant.
Correct. Like, I
she's
love
also
her,
pregnant again.
But I'm also slightly scared of her.
Oh, I'm very scared for her. I don't want to be on her
like in the
bad
best
side.
way possible. Yeah.
So then once they get to Henrik's parents' house, we quickly learn that his parents are in their 70s and his mom suffers from dementia. And his mom is very excited about Henrik's new husband and comments on how Carlsons only marry once. And this leads to his mom like spending time with Teddy in the kitchen, and Teddy is just like so sweet, and he can tell there's like some mental stuff going on with her. Yeah. So he's just very patient and kind, much how he is with just like everybody he meets. And Henrik spends a couple of hours with his dad. And while Teddy and his mom are together, his mom gives Teddy her wedding ring, and which apparently is a ring that has been worn by someone in their family for over 100 years. And Teddy is just like holding it, and he's like, I can't wear this. Like, I can't do this to your family. He's like, your ancestors will smite me. He's like, or some like Swedish curse is going to come upon me. Like, I can't do that. And so he gives it like back to Henrik and is like, you hold on to this because it's special to your family. Like, I can't take that from you. Which you got to love about Teddy. You know, he's like
super sweet.
He's a family person to the heart. And then they end up staying the night in the boat shed, which is a very awkward, like, one bed trope, considering it's like a full-size bed for two grown men.
One of which is who's a NHL hockey player.
Yeah, I'm like, he wouldn't even fit in that bed by himself. And you want to add
Right.
another adult in there? Like, oh, it is awkward. Because they're just like, all right, you lay that way, I'll lay this way, and oh, your feet are. It's like awkward. But then the sleeping situation gets a little bit more interesting when Henrik has a bad nightmare. And it's like bad. He's like crying, screaming in his sleep. And it requires Teddy to basically wake him up from it. And apparently he's been having nightmares all week long. And staying in this boat shed is especially triggering for him because that's where his sister had spent a lot of time. And Petra, his sister, had renovated it. And the sheets still smelled like her, like she had recently been there. And this causes Henrik to finally break down and like literally let everything out, all of his emotions that he's been building up and just like burying and hiding ever since he got the voicemail about his sister. And this whole time, like Teddy is just there comforting him, like he's been from day one.
Yeah.
And Henrik then tells Teddy that his sister probably would have liked him a lot because he has a pure heart. And that just like continues to be this like very beautiful and just like sweet like moment between the two of them. Whenever he calls Teddy my pure heart, you're like, oh,
Ugh,
oh, you
I
sweet,
loved
adorable
it.
Swede. I love you.
I know. So the next day, they finally get some good news that Kara was getting discharged, and they were both awarded temporary custody of her. And then Elaine, I really did not like her because I'm just like,
No.
why do you have to be so? I mean, like, I get that it's your job, but could we
Yeah.
just dial it back a bit?
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah.
this is conditional on both of you raising her together. If Teddy walks away, then they'll reconsider custody. I'm like, what? What do you want, woman?
Yes. What?
But so they get on the plane, they fly back to Florida, they land in Jacksonville, and like the entire Jacksonville Rays welcoming committee is there to greet them at the airport, which is like super sweet. They have Gibson signs to welcome Caro home. Oh, and then
Oh.
they find out they're also a potluck at Henrik's apartment tonight, and everyone's coming. And he was just like, what?
Goodbye are the days of you being a loner, buddy.
Correct.
Everyone's in your house.
And having privacy.
Mhm.
But the best part that I loved is the group has transformed one of his bedrooms into this beautiful like princess room for Caro. And the entire thing was Teddy's idea to make her feel at home. And I'm just like, like Henrik, fall in love with this man because I'm already in love with this man.
Right? Henrik's like, how did you do this? Like, how did you know like Rapunzel's her favorite and purple's her favorite color? And he's like, I talked to her.
Like,
I
right?
talked to the child. I got to know her. I'm good with kids.
Very good with kids.
Mm-hmm.
So after the party, Teddy plans to head back to his hotel because that's where apparently he's been living in the short time before he went to Sweden on his first day. And Henrik's like, no, stay. Like, you don't have to wear your clothes. I'll wash your clothes while you take a bath. Like, you can have anything in my wardrobe. He's like, I want to take care of you. Like, you've been taking care of me. And I was like,
Oh,
oh, oh, I like
please
it.
take care of me.
I know.
So then Teddy is like, okay, fine, I'll stay. And the next morning, Teddy starts to feel a little bit excluded by Henrik when he doesn't let him help with Caro. Because he's just like, I'm going to make all these decisions now. He's like going through all the qualifications for all the in-home nurse. And Teddy's like, why can't I help with that? Like, I could vet for these things. Like, I can help with her meals, etc. It's just like a constant, like, one step forward, two steps back with Henrik for Teddy. And then it escalates when Teddy tries to like question one of the nursing candidates, which leads Teddy to share his feelings about being excluded from Henrik. And I'm just like, you know what? Baby steps. I appreciate you, Teddy, for like coming to the truth and like talking to him about it, but maybe you don't need to escalate so fast. It's okay. But Henrik, take notes. Come on. Don't be a douche.
Yeah.
And then it's time to face the music with Poppy. Whew.
Well,
And boy, oh boy, does she have a plan to minimize the damage for this quickie marriage and surprise adoption. She's like, we're going to go with a friends to lovers trope. And we're like, okay, Poppy, what books have you been reading? I
we're
appreciate
here
this.
for it.
We're here for it. And she's like, all right, I got you guys some wedding rings. Step one. And they're like, okay, boop, boop. And she's like, Henrik, I insist, or Henrik's like, I insist on paying for both of these. And he's like, I'm going to do this. And Teddy's like, wait, what? Like, you're buying me a ring? Like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But it's done. And then Poppy has arranged a bunch of PR activities for them over the next couple of weeks, followed then by an interview with ESPN. What could go wrong?
Nothing, Megan. Nothing could go wrong.
Nothing could go wrong. You guys got this. It's great. But during the ESPN interview, Henrik and Teddy play the part of a newlywed couple in love, and they play it very well, including then Henrik telling them about how the two of them met 6 years ago. But what he didn't realize was like that was actually very, very personal for Teddy. And it really hurt Teddy that Henrik shared this private moment between the two of them because it felt like something that was like actually real between them. And obviously we know that's exactly when Teddy basically went all insta love on Henrik, but Henrik didn't realize that. And so he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't know that should be just between the two of us. And Teddy's like, well, now you do. Let's stick to the script.
Don't say it again.
Don't do it. Yeah.
And then that leads to Teddy declaring that he's going out with his friend Colin for the evening. And we get our first look at jealous Henrik, which, I mean,
Hi.
love that. I
Yes.
love that he's just like, well, I don't like this. But
Who's this guy?
because of all the things that are in his head and because like later he realizes that he's demisexual, like he doesn't understand like what any of this means, right? But Teddy gets slightly derailed when Tess and Caleb demand that he comes to Rips. And I assume that we're going to do karaoke. We are not. There's an official WAGs party. It is not wives and girlfriends. It's women and guys.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. And the best part is somehow Amari is the president of the WAGs.
I did not expect that. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing up here, buddy? You were like very anti anyone, and now you're like, I'm the president of the WAGs.
Correct. And you're okay with it?
Oh my God. I'm here for this though. Change approved.
I love it. And then Teddy is given a bedazzled WAGs jacket with Henrik's number on it and Tedrick on the back, which I love like couple ship names.
Mm-hmm.
And then he also gets to learns that he gets to pick Henrik's goal song for the first home game of the season. And he'll earn $1,000 if Henrik scores and the song is played. And I'm like, please pick something obnoxious.
Please.
Please. So when Teddy comes back that night, Henrik is having another nightmare, which wakes him up, it scares Caro. And then he tries to help calm her down. And then him and Henrik get in a fight about all of it. And Henrik admits that he's possessive, even though he doesn't feel like he has the right to be with Teddy. And I was like, oh, I love this.
Like you don't know what you're feeling, but you're feeling love and possession, and you want this relationship.
It reminded me of like a toddler. Like when they have like all these feelings and emotions and they can't get them out. And sometimes like the way it comes out is just like a mess or it's like bottled inside because they don't understand it. I was like, you were like an emotional toddler when it comes to love.
Yeah. Not great.
So we'll work on it. Progress. Okay. Then he comes clean about how he didn't go out with Colin and he shows Henrik this new WAGs jacket. And Henrik's like, you don't have to wear that. But then like Henrik also like it's very clear that he wants him to wear it. And I'm like, are you trying to mark Teddy?
Oh, yes.
And I was like, I mean, I like this. And we all know what it means if you wear someone's number.
Oh,
so this jacket feels like it counts just like a jersey. And then Teddy insists that Henrik sleep in bed with him so he can get some just to get some actual rest, Megan. Like, of course, for nothing else. And I'm like,
just sleep.
Henrik is never sleeping alone again. Like, that's what as soon as I read this, I was like, never happening. Never happening.
No. It's going to be the best night of sleep in his life. And it's never.
Cannot wait. Much better than the boat shed.
Oh, well, much better. Much better. So now it's time for the first home game of the season. Henrik, Jake, Ryan, Novi, and Caleb are called into the coach's office because he's now learning about the press release that Poppy is sending out announcing that Henrik and Teddy are married. And Poppy also wants the coach to then make Henrik talk to the press after the game about everything. And the coach then pulls out these letters from all the guys detailing like these years-long, slow-burning secret romance between Henrik and Teddy. And all the guys like, yeah, I wrote that. Yep. Look at that little sentence I put here. It's very spicy. And they're basically just like admitting that, you know, there was a romance and that basically they're just trying to help Henrik's custody case. And once Henrik deals with the press tonight, then everything will blow over. And it's funny because like the coach is like, are all of you like gay? He's like, I don't care, but like, is there anybody else who wants to come out right now and like do a PR stunt? He's like, just tell me now before. He's like, can we get back to hockey? Like, come on.
I feel like he's also like, why do we have to make all of these announcements? Like,
Yeah.
what?
He's like,
And
I
why
did
am I the
not
last
sign
to
up
know?
for this. Or he's just
I
like,
would
I am not getting paid enough for this right now.
I would really love like a POV from the coach from specifically like pucking around or like this scene and
Yes.
just to better understand like what is going through his mind because I feel like he like Poppy probably like marched in his office and was like, here, this is happening and like marched out and like
Yeah.
said nothing else. He's slightly terrified of her and he's
Oh,
just
yeah.
like I'm
And
the
he's
coach. Why am I the last to know about all of this?
and he's just like, how did this happen? He's like, I'm just trying to coach a hockey team. He's like, why am I dealing with so many personal issues? Like, this is insane. But of course, if that is not enough drama to deal with, before the first game of the season, Teddy finds out that Poppy flew in his entire family for the game. What? And the family, he has literally been ignoring them. And he hasn't even told them himself that he's married or that he recently adopted Caro. So they're all finding this out right now. And he's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. So, nothing like putting some pressure on the spotlight to bring a family together or destroy it. Let's see how this goes.
It'll be
Look
fine.
around. It'll be fine, fine. So Teddy's family then even starts screaming, Sweden sucks, to try and get Henrik to come over to where they are sitting in the stands so that they can quickly introduce themselves to him, like via the plexiglass. And they're just like, hey, like, you suck. Oh, by the way, we're your new family. Hi.
Bye.
It's like, this is so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, and that's your niece and that's your nephew and that's and Henrik's just like, cool. Great. See you after the game. And then we do see Henrik score a goal, and it causes Teddy's song, which is Moneymaker, to play. And literally, Henrik's just like, what in the world is this song? But I am loving it. And all of Teddy's family are just like, ooh, Moneymaker. Yeah, love it. So
I loved it. I also am like, Poppy, why didn't you tell Teddy you were inviting his entire family?
I know. She's like, well, you said you were close. I assumed like you had told them all this stuff. And he's just like, oh,
I also assumed if you're
my
inviting
God.
people to like into town for my life, you would tell, I don't know, me.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. It's like when I got married, certain people would invite other people to our wedding. And then like, hey, FYI, so and says coming. And I'm like, no, we didn't invite them. Oh, I know, I did. That's not how it works.
Yeah, you're like, what? Yeah.
That's what I feel like happened.
Or even better, my grandmother invited some people she randomly met on the plane to my wedding. I was like, oh, I don't know these wedding crashers. She's like, oh, I met them on the plane. I'm like, Grandma.
And you thought they'd want to come?
To be fair, they were very, very nice. And they said, your grandmother invited us. Back to hockey.
Back to hockey. So after the game, Jake and Henrik do press, and there are numerous questions about Henrik's like recent marriage to Teddy, and only a very few about the actual game. And the coach is like just like about to lose his mind.
He's just like, hockey, come on, hockey.
Someone asked a question about hockey. And basically these like relentless questions lead to Henrik making a fairly long statement about how like rampant homophobia and racism are in the league, how he's watched like Jake, Mauro, and Novi experience it, and like what horrible things have been said about them, and how the press would likely treat him differently if he married a young blonde over the summer. And I'm like, that's very true. And how he'll fight fiercely to protect Teddy. And I was like, dude, you have feelings. You just don't understand. Okay, Teddy's family watches the press conference, and this is like, this scene I had to read so many times because I was like, I don't understand. They at first are convinced that Henrik loves Teddy and that Teddy is not in love with Henrik. And I'm like, you are wrong. They warn him to protect his heart. And then somehow they, in the same conversations, shift to believing that Henrik can't possibly love Teddy the way he deserves to be loved, and Henrik is a cold fish. And I'm like, which one is it?
Yeah, it's like he loves you or he doesn't. Like, he loves me not. He loves me not.
Right. I'm like, what? And then that's when also like Teddy realizes that him and Henrik have been doing all the things that make a real relationship. Like they've been whispering, they've been doing this flirty banter, eye contact, they're sleeping next to each other. And then Teddy's mom, who I do not love, questions if the new family that Teddy's a part of wants him or just needs him. And I'm like, are you friends with
Oh.
Elaine or
Uh-huh.
Ellen?
Uh-huh.
Because maybe you might be besties. If we're just like digging a hole, pouring salt on the wound, and then dumping some vodka on it, and you're like, does this burn?
This is hurt. No, let me push a little harder.
Right.
But I get it. Like mama's being protective of her baby boy.
I
But
get
still, like
it.
you could have been like a little bit nicer about it, or at least like made this a more private conversation. The situation doesn't get better when Henrik comes into the room to then meet Teddy's family, and Mama has her claws out. She's immediately throwing jabs about not being able to attend her only son's wedding. True, that is
Yep.
hard. And then
Fair.
reiterating, yeah, it's like, okay, fair point, fair point. And then she reiterates to Teddy about how wanted Caro is by Henrik. Like she is wanted by Henrik, insinuating that Teddy isn't. Ouch. Like,
Ouch.
ugh. Like this
Mm.
woman. Like, okay, like stop. At this point, Henrik notices that Teddy isn't acting like himself. Like he is like literally gone into his shell. And then asks Teddy to come home with him rather than go to dinner with his family. And like literally his family's like, no, Teddy, come with us. Come with us. And Henrik's like, please don't go with them. Please stay with me. And Mama unleashes on Henrik about how this is not a real marriage and perhaps he should hire a maid instead of getting a husband. Ouch.
I
And then
know.
she drops this bomb that Teddy only wants him. But that's the one thing Henrik will never give him. And she's not wrong. But she could be a little bit less bitchy about it, right? Like, like, yes, Teddy, you are in love with Henrik. But Henrik might love you back. You never know. You never know. And also, you don't know. You don't know, bitch. He could love
You've
her.
just met him.
You just met him. You don't even know anything about him. But thankfully now, Teddy stands up for himself and tells his family that they need to respect his choices. And if his mama talks to Henrik that way again, then it'll be the last time she talks to Teddy. And just drops the mic. And then he's like, Henrik, take me home. Boom.
Boom.
Which
I was so proud of Teddy.
I was so proud, but I was also so scared for him because I'm just like, Mama's not going to forget that. And you're going to
No.
be in trouble later. But also, she deserved to have somebody stand up to her. So
Yes.
I do not envy you that conversation later.
Fair point. Fair point.
Mhm.
Unfortunately now Henrik decides to freak out.
Uh-huh.
Because, I mean, why not? And he's freaking out about the impact their fake marriage is having on Teddy and his family. He starts to push
Yeah.
Teddy away and encourage him. He's like, just go be with your family. And I really felt for Henrik in this moment because he's starting to believe like all the horrible things that Teddy's mama said about him, specifically about using Teddy, which honestly, like we know isn't true. That's not how Henrik sees him whatsoever. But Henrik just struggles to express his feelings. So then Teddy starts to like get Henrik to see the light about how Henrik is always protecting everyone else, but no one is protecting him. And that's the role Teddy wants to play, which was like
Oh.
incredibly sweet. And this is also when Teddy's like, I have been looking for a man my entire life. And there's a moment where Henrik is about to kiss Teddy
Oh, so close.
and so close. And then he's like, rules. And Teddy's like, but I won't disrespect your rules. I'm like, fucking rules?
Fuck the rules.
Ugh.
Throw the rule book out. Throw it out.
Exactly. And then Henrik's walls are back up again. And then Henrik admits, like, Teddy, I know you want a physical component to our relationship. I can tell by the way you look at me, but I can't be with you in that way or anyone because I'm not attracted to anyone. And I was like, what? So that's when we start to learn more about why Henrik has been single for so long. Apparently, he's not interested in sex. He doesn't crave it like literally every other player on the Jacksonville Rays does.
Or like we do,
And he's,
apparently.
yeah. And he would not like spicy books.
No.
He has never enjoyed sex the few times that he's had it. And then that's when Teddy brings up the idea of Henrik potentially being demisexual and not being able to feel any sexual attraction towards any person until there's trust and emotional security between them. suggesting that like Henrik may not have found the right person yet who would allow him to feel that way. And this is like one of the things I love about this entire series. Yes, they're spicy. Yes, there's great characters, but I feel like Emily Rath does such a great job of educating you more about the different types of people in the space or ways that you can love someone
Hmm.
that like I had never heard of demisexual until I read this book,
Me neither. I had no
right?
idea.
And I feel like so much better educated about it and having like seen how it comes to life. And I can definitely see how that could be something people deal with, right? And
Hmm.
so for me, like, I think that's what is a little bit different about specifically this series compared to like another series we might read that is just as spicy and as white shoes or not white shoes. They, are fun, but they don't necessarily have that kind of like education component to it that I personally have really enjoyed.
Yes, she not only has like representation on like like thruples and like polyamory, but like the representation here, it's like that's different. We've never
Mhm.
seen that. At least we haven't seen that yet. And so I'm like,
Yeah.
kudos to you, Emily Roth, and like please do more. Like what else is out there that we don't know about? Can you write about it? Can you tell us? Please educate us. But now it is time for Teddy and Henrik's first fancy date that Poppy has set up. And apparently Teddy has completely forgotten about it, which is very much not like Teddy. So he's just like freaking out, like, oh my God, like I have nothing to wear. Like Henrik just pulled up in a Porsche. He's probably wearing a fancy suit, and I am dressed in like my Rays, like tech
His gym
t-shirt. Like,
teacher.
yeah, he's like, God damn it. And he was literally giving a Novi a massage. And he's like, Novi, you owe me. What do you have in your, like, do you have like a kit outfit? Like, do you have a suit in your locker right now? And he's like, I do. And he's like, give it to me now. And so literally he walks out wearing Novi's suit, but it looks amazing on Teddy. Like, so good. And then Henrik, they're in the car together, starts to realize that the term demisexual does seem to fit him. And now he wants to photograph Teddy. And now he's like, I really like Teddy's scent. I really like how he smells. I really want to take pictures of him. Spoiler alert, Henrik, you're starting to catch feelings. You are, man oh man, falling over this guy. And then Henrik also learns that Teddy was attracted to him at first sight, and how it's even stronger now, given their proximity. Then Henrik admits he thinks Teddy is beautiful too. We're like, oh,
Oh,
oh, oh my. Okay, okay. Unfortunately, that's not what Teddy is feeling. He's like, okay, you're just pity flirting with me. Like, I don't want to be the guy that you experiment with, because like this isn't an experiment for me. Like, I actually like you. Like, you can't like pretend to like me. That's not cool. And also, while they're at this dinner, he's like looking around for this photographer that like Poppy set up. So he's just like, I'm nervous about this. Like, I don't know what to do. And now you're trying to tell me you think I'm pretty. Like, I don't know how to handle this. And then Henrik says, well, how will I know if I can give you everything you want if you don't even let me try? And we're like, oh, what?
wait, what?
Henrik, are you what? And that leads to
What?
Teddy. Teddy then confesses that Henrik turns him on and that he's in love with him. And apparently we're just letting it all out tonight. And we're just like, what? And Henrik admits wanting to learn if he can love Teddy too. And
And I was just like, wait,
what?
what?
Like, you
Oh,
want to find out if you can love him too. And that leads to them going out onto the beach and dancing. And Teddy's like, there's no music. And Henrik's like, hold on. And he pulls out his phone and turns on a song. And they're just dancing.
it was Teddy playlist.
This Teddy
And
playlist.
I'm just like, oh God,
It
I
is so
just,
sweet. Oh, I
it
love
is, oh,
this. So then a few days later, Teddy, Caro, and Teddy's friend Colin are at a game together. And Teddy starts sharing what happened during the date. And he tells Colin everything. And now he's like, nothing's happened since. Like, what am I going to do? Like, Teddy's freaking out. He's like, we had a beautiful dinner. We shared emotions. We had a dance on the beach, and now nothing. Again, Teddy's freaking out about this. Henrik looks up and sees that Colin is there with Teddy, and he starts to get a little bit jealous. But Henrik doesn't know that, number one, Colin is married, and number two, Colin is straight. Colin is not interested in Teddy. But Henrik freaks out, and Teddy can then tell that Henrik is freaking out. And he's like, oh shit, we are about to be in so much trouble. He's like, I need to go down there and explain myself. So Teddy goes down during one of the breaks to talk to Henrik, and he admits like Colin is only a friend. And finally, Henrik just kisses him. He's like, come here, and just like kiss. And you're like, who
It's
knew?
happening.
Who knew a little jealousy is all we needed to get Henrik to man up and kiss?
We would have invited Colin to the game earlier.
Yes, we would have. God damn. And Teddy is thrown off by this. He's like, oh.
Because it's like in front of everyone.
Yes.
It's
like,
just,
I mean, everyone knows they're married, but still, he's just
also,
like, oh, damn.
I mean, your first kiss in front of everyone, that's a pretty big deal when you're married.
Sure. Yes, please.
Okay, there's more kissing when Henrik gets home from the game until Teddy's like, hold, we need new rules. I'm like, Teddy, we broke all the old ones. We don't need new ones. These are actually not horrible rules. He's like, we should have a post-nuptial agreement for dividing assets. And he's like, and I want to be able to see Caro, like, if we split up. Because, like, I will fight you. He's like, I will fight you for it. And I love that for him. Yeah. And then Teddy's like, they talk about, like, STI screening and PrEP and all this stuff. And Henrik's like, I've not had sex with anyone for, like, more than 6 years.
Yeah.
So
he's like, I'm clean. I'm good.
I'm good.
And Teddy's like, oh, but honey, you need to get laid.
Right. And then Henrik is like also very clear, like, Teddy, you're only mine. Like, he is like laying down the law. The previous role of like, you can go fuck whoever you want has ended. Mm-hmm. There's a definite yes to kissing, but no sex in the bed, which I was like, I kind of got because it's like, that's like their safe space for sleeping. But I'm also like, where else are we going to have sex then?
Like, it's a very comfortable place to have sex. And
you also have
a lot of fun.
Child.
Yes. Like, you can't do it in the living room, like, on the couch.
I mean, you could. But you probably shouldn't.
Probably shouldn't.
Well, she's not mobile
which
now.
is there.
So maybe.
That's true.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And Teddy's like, and I'll still pay rent. I'm like, Teddy, like, what is the hard on about the rent? Let it go.
Right. Stop.
And then next up, Teddy and Henrik are interviewed by a child welfare worker for the adoption. And Teddy is like literally freaking out. And Henrik is extremely calm. He's like, we take good care of her. And so my kids are all adopted. So we went through this process numerous times. And I am like the Teddy in this situation where I am like freaking out about legitimately the dumbest things. And my husband's like, you do not need to dust the baseboards one more time. Like, no one is looking at the baseboards. But I'm like, but what if they do? And he's like, it's fine. Like, it's fine.
The medicine cabinet is locked. It's lifted up. Like, we're safe. There's no chemicals.
Things.
Yeah. All the
but
things.
But I feel like that's like how anyone I've ever talked to that's went through the adoption process, there's like one person who's like neurotic about it and freaking out about every little thing that could possibly go wrong. And then one person who's like, no, it'll be fine. Like, has zero thought that anything could go wrong. They're just like, no, I mean, like, why would there be a problem?
But that's why you need that balance.
Exactly. I feel like it's a good balance to have, but
yes. And Teddy and Henrik are a good balance.
They are.
So then we get a fun group dinner date with Henrik, Teddy, Jake, Caleb, Ilmari, Novi, and Maro at a Japanese restaurant, which it turns out it's like, so this is a group date, but it's also like all the guys who have kind of come out as being either gay or bisexual or polyamorous. It's just us. It's like, okay. And Henrik, of course,
it's a social media.
It's a social media. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Henrik is being very awkward at dinner. He's just like, I don't know what to say, what to do. Like, I typically just hang out with these guys, like, in the locker room and, like, then hockey. Like, I don't know. And Ilmari calls him out on this when they are in the bathroom together. And he is sharing how he used to be just like Henrik 6 years ago until Rachel, Jake, and Caleb, and then their children came into his life and made him want to change. And Ilmari admits that he's at the dinner because Jake wanted him to come. And he's like, I would do anything for Jake's happiness. And then he questions Henrik, which, first of all, you're like, Ilmari, look at you.
I know. I was just like,
so proud of his growth.
Yeah.
And that's also what's beautiful about this whole series is like you still see the character development even when the story is not primarily about them.
Yeah,
you're like,
I agree.
Oh, okay. Like, good for you. But he can then pass on that knowledge, which is beautiful. He's like, I would do anything for his happiness. Would you, Henrik? Would you do anything for Teddy's happiness? Like, what would you do? Then Ilmari threatens to kick Henrik's ass if he hurts Teddy and demands that, like, you need to try harder at this dinner. Like, you need to try because So help me, I will hurt you. I love Teddy. He's an amazing person. So Henrik's like, all right, what do? I'm going to get shots. Because why not? That helps everybody, right? And this leads to the group singing a Swedish drinking song in the entire restaurant. And I wish I was there. Like,
Me too.
to be a fly on the wall or to be a passerby, I'm just like, I would join in and be like, teach me this song, please. I would love to join you. And it was amazing. And apparently, it was so amazing that once they get home, we get our first spicy scene, finally, where Teddy goes down on Henrik, and he liked it.
Yes,
Oh,
he
yes,
did.
he
It's
did.
about time.
Mm-hmm.
So at the next game, Poppy's water breaks and she gives Novi's keys to Teddy, insisting that he drive Novi to the hospital after the game is over because Novi will not be in the right frame of mind to drive himself. 1,000% agree on this. And then Teddy is freaking out because breaking that news to Novi won't go well. He does not always react the best in a stressful situation, and he does not in this one. So, like, Teddy was smart to enlist the help of Henrik, who has to, like, basically latch on to Novi's ear and, like, twist it really hard or something to get
Like
him to, like, let go.
Like he's a petulant child.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Novi kind of is.
He is. He really is. Yeah.
And then because of all this, Caro is at a sleepover at Tessa's, and so they're child free. And what happens? We get a spicy bathtub scene where Henrik goes down on Teddy, and then they do a 69. I'm like, we have went from
Oh my.
nothing, like barely, like not even kissing, to like hello.
Yes. And also, I want this bathtub. This bathtub sounds amazing.
How can you fit two
Please.
grown men in this bathtub?
I don't know, but I want in.
I do too.
Maybe with the two grown men.
I mean,
I don't know. Next. Next, there is a very entertaining trick-or-treat event where Teddy agrees to give Novi a few massages to stop Novi from hating him due to, you know, the whole keeping his keys away from him. He's like, all right, I'm sorry. Like, Poppy told me to do it. You can't deny Poppy what she wants. Fair point.
right.
And this leads to Caro overhearing some moms talking about how Teddy was going to leave and how he was going to leave her and leave Henrik at some point due to their fake marriage, which Caro, I'm just like, you poor little baby.
I know.
Like, tells Teddy all about this and like begs him not to leave her. And it just breaks your heart. You're like, oh my
It does.
God, sweet child, no one's going to leave you. And then she also mentions how her mom, Petra, had promised that Caro could be the flower girl one day at Henrik's wedding. And that just hits Teddy straight in the gullet, like in the heart. He's just like, oh, because that's very similar to how his family felt about the wedding too. And they're just like, damn it. And that results in Teddy like calling his sister and just like talking it out with her, which is about damn time. He needed to do that sooner. But he kind of needed that to happen. And then later, Teddy tells Henrik all about Caro's confession, and Henrik suggests that they have a wedding reception. Did not expect that, though. Given how uncomfortable Henrik has been about people in general, we're like, oh, look at you growing and changing.
Yes.
I like that. Good progress. And then he's also really glad to learn that Teddy told Caro that Teddy loves her. And I'm like, yes, of course he loves her. Like, thank you for sharing that. But the big surprise now is when Henrik asks Teddy to fuck him. What?
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 Excuse me,
Make
what?
Make all of his dreams come true? And Teddy definitely takes it slow because it's Henrik's first time with the man. And all of these sensations that Henrik's feeling start to kind of freak him out a little bit and does cause him to ask Teddy to stop. They had a safe word. He's like, stop. But when he sees like how that made Teddy feel, it makes him change his mind and want to try again. Followed then by Teddy going down on Henrik afterwards. And Henrik is very eager to do it all over again. He's like, you blew my mind. He's like, I had no idea that like this could feel this way. You know, like to like in the past, like sex was just sex. He's like, this is a connection with sex. And it's like, it brings a whole like actual level of like intimacy. And he's like, I like it. I like it with you.
Yeah, sex with the right person.
Let's do it again. And we're like, yes, let's do it again.
Yay! I'd like to read about it. And then we get jealous, Henrik, because he comes out to play again because Teddy gets a text from Fish Lips. I love it when people save names in their phones, like as descriptors.
Oh, God.
And Fish Lips wants to take Teddy out and show him a good time. And Henrik's
Uh-oh.
like, who the fuck is this, right? And Teddy
Yep.
confesses that Fish Lips is a guy he met on a dating app 6 years ago. They never hooked up, they only kissed. And then Henrik's like, you met him where? And he's like, well, in Chicago. Does he play for the Blackhawks, the team that I'm currently in the middle of playing right now? Yeah.
Yep.
And Henrik's like, tell me his name. And Teddy refuses.
Yeah,
But
no.
then
Yeah, I would. Mm-mm.
I wouldn't, right? And then Teddy then sends a message to Fish Lips, tell him to go fuck off, basically, and be grateful that he didn't tell Henrik his name. So then what happens? Well, Fish Lips obviously knows that Teddy and Henrik are married, so he goes after Henrik on the ice all night. And I'm like, why are you jealous from a kiss from 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Like, why is Fish Lips like making a big deal out of this? Besides that he's
I
just an
think it's
asshole.
I think it's because Fish Lips hasn't come out. Because remember he
Yeah.
like took him to like a suburb of Chicago where like nobody could recognize them. Like he was like ashamed of being with a man. So I think that's why he's like, I am jealous that you are out and proud and that you're married to like a hot, sexy guy. So now I'm gonna go after you. Like,
Ugh,
I hate
just an
that.
asshole.
Mhm.
So after the game, everyone has to go to a mandatory event at Rips, and the other, like Jake and the other captain, have like, you're all coming. No one of them want to be there. Unfortunately, stupid Fish Lips decides to follow Teddy into the bathroom, calls Teddy a whore. He starts talking shit about Henrik, which leads to Teddy punching him. And I was so proud of Teddy in that moment.
Good for you, Teddy.
And he says some other things, which we'll get to in a minute. But then Henrik comes in, wails on Fish Lips, right? Which I'm just like,
Yeah.
yes.
Good.
And then Jake and the guys have to pull him apart, and they have to get everyone to leave without making more of a scene, right? Because Fish Lips is bleeding. His nose is probably broken, which is not, like, let's be honest. He's a hockey player. It's not that big of a deal.
Fish Lips got the right hook.
Yes, he did.
Pretty good. But apparently fighting turns Henrik on because they don't go home. Instead, they go down the road, park somewhere in the middle of like sand dunes, and we get a spicy scene. Because literally, Teddy talked about getting fucked by Henrik on the top of the Porsche. And Henrik's like, let's fucking do that. But it starts with Henrik going down on Teddy, followed then by Henrik fucking Teddy on the hood of the Porsche, like pulling everything down. And they are having a grand old time. But there's a moment then where Henrik is about to say, I love you. And all of a sudden headlights show up and they're like, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck. Like we're doing this out in public. Like this is like kind of illegal, not allowed. Turns out it's just some of their teammates who show up to check on them because like, yo, we got Find My Friend still. We wanted to make sure you guys are okay, but we see you're good. Keep it up. See you later. And it's like,
have fun.
Meanwhile, Teddy is just like hiding behind Henrik with like his pants at his ankles. And he's like, oh my God. So great. Literally caught like deer in the headlights moment. So, but that was a lovely evening on top of the Porsche. So then later, much later, Caro asks Henrik if he loves Teddy. And if so, then he needs to say it. Otherwise, she worries Teddy will leave them. And we all know that she wants Teddy to stay forever. And Henrik also wants Teddy to stay forever. And Henrik's like, I listen to you, Caro. I listen to you, mitt lam, which means like my little lamb. So things get slightly worse now when a tabloid runs an article that highlights the fight from last night, which is really not good. And then they also highlight Henrik's broken endorsement deal, and they're insinuating that he's having an affair with Caro's nurse, Hannah, who is just like an innocent bystander in all this. And she's like, oh my God, no, I would never do that. And Henrik's like, yeah, don't worry about it. But it gets a little bit worse now when Henrik learns from his dad that a reporter showed up at their house and his mom talks to him. And literally he is so pissed off that this reporter like shoved his way into the house and like basically made his mom even more confused than she already was because of her dementia. And she's like, my son's not married. Like, what are you talking about? Where's my daughter? Like, all the trauma all over again for her. And the press just continues to have this field day with the story for the next few days, continuing to paint the picture of a fake marriage, especially since, you know, his mom said he wasn't married. And to make matters worse now, Elin, our lovely Swedish lawyer, calls because there are now concerns about Henrik's suitability to be Caro's guardian because, you know, he's violent and etc., etc. And Henrik's like, send another person to do a home visit. Let's prove how great we're taking care of Caro. It'll be fine. He's not worried about this. But Teddy's freaking out, of course.
Yeah, of course. So during the home visit, Henrik shares about how much his life has changed for the better since Teddy and Carl came into it, talking about how he used to live to work and now he works to live. And he gives lots of examples. It's incredibly sweet.
Mhm.
And I think it's like one of the first moments where Teddy probably realizes that Henrik's in love with him. He just can't say it. And then
Yeah.
Novi comes to visit Henrik while Henrik was getting a massage, and he apologizes for constantly flirting with Teddy. And I feel like, Mora was like probably like Colton, like, dude, you've got to stop this shit. And
Yeah.
he assures like Henrik, like, I don't mean anything by it. That's just who I am. And then he tells Henrik not to fuck up what he has with Teddy. And then Teddy shows up in the massage room, super confused,
He's like,
right? Like, what's going on? Well, Novi is donating his last Teddy massage to Henrik. And then we get to
yes.
see Henrik finally ask Teddy to stay with him no matter what happens with the custody. Like he wants him for him, not just because of Caro. And then Henrik goes down on Teddy. And I'm like, I like this. I like this a lot.
It's
That's
also
like,
fun because
that
they
was
have like
a
a
very
locked
nice
door.
gift.
It's a
Yes.
very nice gift, but it's very just like, oh, we're doing this at work. We could get in
I mean,
trouble. Like
the
lock the
prices,
door.
the prices do it at work all the time. Novi and Colton and Poppy do it at
They
work all the
truly do.
time.
It's
The
about damn
only
time
people,
they did.
yeah, I was gonna say the only people in this like series that doesn't do it at work is like Tess and Ryan.
But I'm sure they would if they could.
If they could, like if she worked there, I'm sure that they would.
She would just
So
show up.
right? So after the next game, Henrik announces, like, in this press briefing that his mother has dementia. So making it very clear that, like, what the reporter did was really horrible. And then he says
Mhm.
that Teddy, his niece, and his family are off limits. And he announces the donation to this new philanthropic wing of the Jacksonville Rays to support dementia care. Poppy's taking over management of the fund because she wants to get off PR. Do not blame her with all of the drama that she has to deal with. And
Mhm.
then after the press conference, Henrik gets down on one knee in front of Teddy's family, asking Teddy to marry him again, like big wedding and all. And
Oh,
finally says, I love you. And admits that he's loved Teddy for a while before he could ever form the words. And then he gives Teddy his family ring. Did I cry? Yes.
yes,
And then
absolutely.
he gets Teddy a new vanity with his own sink in the bathroom, which I feel like I don't know how married couples have one sink. I
No,
can't. No.
no.
And then he promises to fuck him against the new vanity while Teddy wears the Wags jacket. And I was like,
Oh, damn.
oh, hi. You've like,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
okay,
Yes, please. Yes,
okay.
please. And then they finally get some good news that they've gotten full custody of Caro.
Yay.
And they need to fulfill the rest of the requirements to formally adopt her. Thank God. Like,
Well,
that's just,
it was so sweet, but it was so relatable. It was like an email, and they're like, that was like anticlimactic. And that is honest to God how it happens. Like you,
congratulations, you have custody. Where's the
or like,
glitter? Where are
or
the balloons?
it's not like that, right? I think
No.
almost every single time, like we found out that we were like selected for our kids, or that like, we were going to start adopt our kids, or we passed court in like another country for their adoption. It was always via email,
You're like,
like at
oh,
the most
oh.
random times.
You're like, oh, okay, great. But now we are going to get another spicy scene that involves toys.
Thank you.
Definitely did not expect Henrik to be the first one to bust out the toys. But not only is he busting out a toy, he is busting out the vibrating cock ring in the bedroom. So we're on the bed now. And this leads to Teddy fucking Henrik while Teddy is wearing a vibrating butt plug. And then Henrik is wearing the vibrating cock ring. Those things are intense, let me tell you. And it's
I
fun.
was just like, I did not
I'm
expect
curious if it's the
Henrik to
same,
be.
if it's, I did not expect him to do that. I'm curious if it's the exact same brand or like if Tess gave recommendations on like you can control it, with like the buttons and stuff. So
Or Poppy.
maybe, yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
But that was fun for them to explore and very happy for them. I hope they get more explorations. Maybe they can get some of the same sex bed equipment that Almari had.
That is something that should be like recommended,
That should be recommended. That should be like a wedding gift from the prices.
like an
I feel
Amazon
like.
list.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So then we get 3 months later, and it is wedding time. Basically, it's a complete redo of everything that Teddy really wanted. It's gorgeous. Like, Teddy's mama walks him down the aisle. Teddy has, like, this beautiful, like, white suit with, like, kind of like his own like makeshift like veil on his shoulders. And
Yeah.
like his dreads are like looking amazing. And also like Caro is the flower girl. She looks adorable, like of course. And then so everyone's happy. They finally get their wedding. It's beautiful. And then we get our epilogue. It is now 5 years later, and they are watching Caro dance in the Nutcracker because she's fully healed. She's gone to ballet class. She's made besties with like all the other little girls. And she's, beautiful dancer. They all cry and they're just like watching. They like brought their flowers, and Henrik's just like, he's trying to film it, but he's also just like being present in the moment. He's just like, oh, okay. So then afterwards, they go to dinner at the very same restaurant where Teddy and Henrik had their little like PR first date. And they both have something to ask Teddy. And Teddy's like, what's going on? Like, what is this, you guys? Like, stop teaming up against me.
I hate surprises. Tell me now.
Tell me now. I want to know. And they're acting all sneaky, like, hee hee hee. And at first, Caro, like, gives him a card, and inside the card, it just says, can I call you dad, to Teddy. And it just, cue the tears.
I cried.
I actually cried. I actually cried.
That's a big deal.
I know. I cried. I'm getting a little teary-eyed now thinking about it.
No.
So sweet. And Teddy's just like, are you sure? Like, I mean, yes. Like, I've always thought of you as a daughter. Because she's like, yeah, like, Morbor, he's my uncle. But, like, I've never had a dad. But, like, you feel like a dad. Like, so you're my dad. So cute. And then Henrik asked Teddy if he would change his last name to Carlson to match theirs. So that no one can ever doubt that they are a family. He's like, but if you don't want to do that and you want to stay O'Connor, Caro and I are willing to change our last names to be O'Connor if you want that. And it's just like, that's so beautiful. I love that.
No, I loved it.
And Teddy's just like, I've already imagined myself as a Teddy Carlson. So, it's like, yeah, we'll do that. He's like, I've already like written it 100 times in my planner,
With
And he
hearts.
agrees with hearts all over it. Like, he's like, Dr. Carlson, Dr. and Mr. Carlson. He's like, yes. He's like, I'll agree to change it to Carlson if you go to Burning Man with me. And then, to top it all off, Caro pulls out 2 tickets for Burning Man, indicating how well Henrik actually does know him after all. And you're like, well, see you in Burning Man, you guys. And that is the end of...
I need like a chapter of Henrik at Burning Man.
Yeah, it's like, I need like an extra one. Like, what does Henrik do at Burning Man? Is he going to walk around naked? Is he going to I don't know.
Does he talk to people? Like, what happens?
Right. Who else? Are the Prices going to Burning Man? Because I feel like they would.
I feel like they would too. I feel like Tess definitely would.
Tess? Yeah, she'll be there.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. In terms of hot and steamy, this felt like a 4.
Yeah, I give it a 4.
Okay. I give it a 4. Okay. So, chapter 51, we went 50 chapters, you guys, without spice, which is very different than fucking around.
Yeah, very, very different.
And this is when Teddy goes down on Henrik for the first time. And he's like, don't stop. Fuck, I'm so close. Teddy, should I? And I'm like, he doesn't know what to do. And like, he's like, what should I do?
Yeah.
And then Teddy says, come in my mouth, baby, please. I'm fucking dying for it. And I was just like, I think that's one of the things I love so much about the two of them is once they did kind of cross the line, Teddy was such a good like partner and so thoughtful with Henrik in terms of like helping him see what to do, what was okay, what I shouldn't do. Like, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was just
like Teddy is his sex educator.
Yes.
But it's also nice because on the opposite end, like Henrik is his like his rock, his calming educator. He's like, it will be okay. You need to trust me. So like the two of them together is like top notch.
It's kind of perfect.
And then it's perfect. And then we get chapter 55 where Henrik goes down on Teddy in the tub. And he just says, I'm going to come, he whispers, biting his bottom lip. I stop moving my hand. Wait. He groans. Fuck, seriously? You're finally fucking touching me and now you're going to edge me? What's edge? Seriously? You don't know? Not in this context. Well, I'm not telling you. Why? Because I don't want you to fucking do it to me, he says on a breath.
I loved that scene because I was just like, he doesn't know. And I don't blame him.
He's like, what do you mean? What is edging? He's like, the thing you're doing to me right now. You're not letting me finish. How dare you?
But I'm
But
not
then they
going to
kind
tell
of,
you because I don't want you to do that to me again. Like,
yeah,
oh,
he's like, I know you, because once you know what it is, you're going to try it out again, and it's killing me. But then he finally does let him come, and it's nice.
which is nice.
He does
And
do
then
it.
chapter 56, they have, which is like right after this one, right?
Oh, yeah.
They end up having like a 69,
Hmm.
which Teddy has to explain to Henrik like how to do,
Yeah.
which is kind of interesting. Okay, so what I loved is there's lots of things in the book where Teddy talks about how he's like Icarus or like Henrik is Icarus and like the sun and everything.
Hmm.
And Henrik is saying like more, I'm close, give me more. And then Teddy in his mind is like, he's close, I'm closer. This is the edge. In this moment, we're both Icarus, hand in hand. We're about to fucking leap. Ugh. His mouth is wet and warm. I can't help myself from running into him. This feels too good. There's candlelight, and the room is warm and steamy from the bath. Our energy is primal. And
Oh.
it was just like, this is what Teddy has been waiting for.
Hmm. Yes. Like they already had they were almost like at an emotional connection, but now they're at the physical
Yes,
connection, and it's like
correct.
about damn
Like
time.
6 years.
Yeah, seriously. So then we get chapter 60 where Henrik and Teddy have sex. And he says, I swear I was about to give you the best massage of your fucking life. I was going to make it so good, relax me from head to toe. And then I was going to suck your cock and swallow all your cum like the good little whore I am. I love Teddy's banter. I love it so much.
So good.
His eyes widen, cheeks blooming pink as I match him dirty word for dirty word. It's adorable. And now I grin. Now I'm going to bend you the fuck over. I'm going to take your tight hole, spread it with my fingers, and fuck you till you're screaming my name. And we don't stop until you're dripping with me. Whew. And he says, do it. Take me, Teddy. Show me what this can be.
It's like, is Teddy a little Caleb?
A little bit, yeah.
Right?
And it's
And I was
so
just like,
funny
oh my God.
because he's just like, I'm normally at the bottom, but I'll be top energy if I have to. He's like, until Henrik can figure out that he wants to be top because he's got like that primal, like possessive
Yeah.
urge. He's like, but I'll show him. I'll show him what this can be. I'll show him everything. I can show you the world. Like, that's what it feels like is happening there. So then they figure it out. And we have chapter 61 where Henrik and Teddy have sex, and then Teddy goes down on Henrik. And he slams into me grinding hard, and a noise escapes me that doesn't sound quite human. And somehow I managed to get out the word more. And my Teddy delivers. My Teddy, he says.
I know, right?
He says, Henrik, baby, I'm gonna come. Yes, this is what I crave most. I see him now. I have him in my arms. My kiss is branded to his lips, but this will make me feel less empty, less adrift. I'm tethered in this moment to my body through Teddy. He'll give me what I need. He always gives me just what I need.
Like,
It's
right?
just so sweet. And just, they love each
Well,
other.
then we get down to chapter 68 where we were fighting and now we're fucking on the car of the Porsche,
Mm-hmm. I'll have to
which
try
is
that sometime.
like, I had a lot of questions about like, does the hood get damaged? That's a lot of weight.
I was very worried. I was very worried about the Porsche. I was just like, oh, is the baby going to be okay? What kind?
I
Is
mean,
this a
Teddy
911?
was
Are you
okay.
okay? I mean, no.
Yeah. So Henrik is fucking Teddy on the Porsche, right? And so once again, we get another Icarus mention. Forget Icarus shooting towards the sun. I'm a fucking meteor. There's no stopping this. I told Henrik he was in control, but nothing will stop me coming now. I mean, and then he's like, Henrik, I chant his name, my own prayer. Oh. And so like Henrik's fucking him, and then Henrik is like then taking his hand on Teddy and like jerking him off until he comes. And I'm just like, this is Henrik, we went from not kissing like 10 chapters ago to
Yeah,
this.
right?
And I love this journey for them.
Things
I also
escalated.
really love that we didn't get like a third act breakup or any of kind of that nonsense. Like it
Yeah.
was just this like really beautiful emotional connection. And then we saw like the physical component get added to it that made it, I think, richer. But
Yeah. It's
anyways,
like the only like breakup situation we kind of had was like a whole like, will they get Caro custody or not?
yes.
So it wasn't like in terms of them as a couple, it was more like, are they going to be whole as a family? Which,
Right.
of course, they were fine. So we get chapter 72 where Henrik goes down on Teddy and he just says, I groan with relief, taking his cock to the back of my throat again and again. He sets a punishing pace, fucking my mouth like he owns it. God help me, he does. We both know it. Every part of me is his now. These last few months have changed us forever. How did I ever live without him? He says, open your mouth, show me, want to watch you take my cum. And it was dirty. So dirty.
Right.
I love it. And
I
then once
did.
more, we get chapter 76, where Teddy fucks Henrik while wearing a vibrating butt plug, and then Henrik is wearing a vibrating cock ring. Whew, things get shaky in the best kinds of way. Grabbing his hips, I press in deeper, giving him another 2 inches. His head tips back, eyes closed, as he takes in the dueling sensations of the vibrating cock ring and my dick in his ass. This moment should have me reeling too. Between the feel of the thick plug in my ass, my cock buried inside Henrik's wet heat, and his cock ring humming at the base of my shaft. God, I should be in sensory overload. I should be fraying apart. But all I can do is marvel at my husband. He has come so far. When this all first started, he flinched when I touched him. Now he's taking charge, experimenting with toys and letting me take the deepest parts of him. The trust he has in me is staggering. And
I
again,
loved
that's
it.
just that's just like a summary of their relationship, how they started and where they're at now, and you're just happy for them.
It was so good. It was It was so, so good. Okay. In terms of what's next, if you enjoyed this book, we think you'll also love, obviously, Everyone is in Their Heated Rivalry series by Rachel Reed. That is the current era that I think almost all of us have been in for the past couple weeks and
Yeah.
probably for a while. If you haven't read the books, you need to check them out. You also need to check out the show on HBO Max. And we are big fans of the Agitator series by Megan Quinn. There are 5 books. Spice level heats up with every single book. Spicy's book is the last one, so this is war. Highly recommend it.
Oof. Cannot wait for more hockey romance. But in the meantime, join us next week when we dive into the world of romantasy and discuss The Things That Gods Break by Abigail Owen. Happy reading, everybody.
Happy reading.
Thanks for listening to Late Night Reads. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Late Night Reads Podcast. And check out latenightreads.com for even more information about all the books we're reading. If you loved today's episode, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review our podcast. And share the show with your fellow book lovers.